Welcome to the Bad X Release Show, brought to you by Covers. Thanks for joining us here every Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, 9:15. Good week to you, Derek Carty. Good week to everybody there in the chat. Nice to see everybody there. Winning week, small wins, but a winning week nonetheless. Some odd sides. We mentioned it in the Blitz, some odd sides that we were on, but a solid day Friday to right the ship on the week. Some solid plays there. Another handful of plays. How, with football and everything going on the day after Monday Night Football with two games, how did the market look this morning, Derek?
It wasn't quite as full as I was kind of hoping it was going to be. There's definitely some stuff out there, but it's moving a little bit, and it's not like we have 15 plays like we did after the first week of football. So still some good stuff, though.
Yeah, looking at 6 plays here. Before we get to them, make sure you hit that like, subscribe button. Want to see that ratio nice and even to the live viewers. This is the procedure. We'll tell you what book we're betting at, give you some time to log on, and then we'll tell you the game, the prop market, the player, the team, the over-under, making sure everybody can get that, because if you're new to the show or if you followed the show, I mean, sometimes sitting with 70 points of value, of closing line value, isn't unheard of. It's sometimes we're so ahead of the market, it's a little funny. And full transparency, these are things that can get your account blocked. So there are ways to try to sidestep those things. Certainly look into them, because books certainly don't like releases. That's for sure. But let's get right to it. 1 of 6. We're at 365. And today is a weird slate because obviously playoffs are coming. There's lots of piggyback pitching going on, some unknown pitchers. But when we get down the list, there's one I absolutely love just because of where we are in the schedule. Let's go. Arizona, Chicago White Sox. And I'm doing it again. Diamondbacks at White Sox. Head over to that game. Head over to pitcher hits allowed. Lost 10 points, Derek.
Lost 10 points on the freaking hits market? Come on.
Yeah, that is unheard of.
Can we do Caesars? I think several books have a better number than this. I think there's a plus 106 and a plus 105 at a few places.
Okay, but I'm assuming the even money's still a play showing value on the over.
It's still a play, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So if you're there, you can stay there. If you don't have Caesar, stay there. We're just heading over to the best market because we lost 10 points. Me talking about formalities at the top of the show again. But it was plus 110 at 9:07. Arizona at Chicago White Sox. Good morning to producer Mick there. All good. If anybody knows where we're going, this is something we've hit before. This one before producer Mick pulls it up. There is some rain in this game, as Kevin Roth pointed out, but it's more early rain, delayed start. Game will probably continue as normal.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the main concern here, but it's got so much value. I think we got to do it anyway.
And I'm still amazed that his 4.5 is always there. Minus 104. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, my goodness. All right, fine. I guess the even money one then. I mean, there are draft. I hate sending producer Mick around everywhere. I think, well, maybe not anymore if it's all moving. DraftKings at plus 105, but let's just hit the even money one's fine at 365.
Okay, I'm bringing that up now.
Yeah, Chad is saying DraftKings has 105 still. Oh, now it just moved because people know it and they're betting
it. All right. So 365 is still there. Arizona, Chicago White Sox. Pitcher hits allowed. If you're at DK, you're getting a better number. We're going to sit there on the even side of money. Let's go. Release number 1. Arizona starting pitcher Zach Davies over 4.5 hits. Even money now. Davies over 4.5 hits. Even money. Plus 100, whatever you want to call it. I don't discriminate there. DK just moved to -105, so you're not getting that. Apologies. Like I said, maybe some rain here, but this is a guy, 64 hits over his last 54 innings, last 12 starts. He's well over 9 hits, a hit per inning guy. And I don't know, we've hit this before. This is a number that shouldn't be on that side of even money.
No, it shouldn't. The bat's projecting 6 here, so this could even be a 5.5 market. We're getting a hit and a half over at even money is really nice. Davies is a pitch to contact guy, doesn't get a lot of strikeouts, allows a lot of contact, facing Diamondbacks offense that's getting a park upgrade here. And it's a 4.5 market.
Yeah, if you're new to the hitting market, 4.5 is on the low side. Usually you see 5.5 for guys projected around 17.5 outs. And then the 6.5 outs or 6.5 hits allowed for the guys with the longer leash. But the 4.5 is always a great market. And it's usually juiced to the over, not in this case for Davies, who is not really a great pitcher. He's not a strikeout guy, and he's a pitch to contact guy.
And he has a pretty decent leash too. I was tempted to do his outs. His outs are 14.5. I forget the odds, but that looked pretty good too. But the hits looked a little better.
There we go. All right. Running around to get that. That's why we put it at the top, because it's likely the one to move the most. Release number 2. We are at FanDuel. And I absolutely love the secondary books. MGM, Canby books. 365, I think, is in the wheelhouse too. Tampa Bay at Boston. There's a lot of check marks. There's a lot of check marks for this play when you're going down the handicap list here.
Yeah.
Let's go pitcher strikeouts. Okay, fantastic. Our number is still there. Pretty widely available too. For release number 2, Tampa Bay starting pitcher Zac Eflin, under 5.5 Ks, -122. Eflin under 5.5 Ks, -122. As I said, a lot of check marks. Pinnacle is much shorter. I saw -153. That could be even shorter now. He's coming off a 5-game high in pitches at 90. At 90, this is a guy that has no need to be pushed before the playoffs with the issues with this Tampa Bay rotation. So, and then add in some, I don't know, where some tough wins at Boston too. There's a lot of check marks here.
Yeah, the big thing is the leash. You know, the Rays kind of keep their guys on a tighter leash, third time through the order. Obviously, the playoffs coming up. You know, they still have an outside chance of winning the division, which I'm sure they'd like to do, but I don't know if they're going to push their guys given all their issues right now. You know, going into Fenway, facing a low strikeout Boston offense. I like Eflin a lot as a pitcher. I think he's incredible, but in this spot, I will definitely take the under. The bat's projecting 4.5. So we're getting full strikeout under, and the market has been moving this way. It opened as good as -102. And like you said, Pinnacle's like -153, -155, something like that right now. So I like this one.
Yeah, me as well. So let's get Eflin in the books there, under 5.5, -122. Release number 3. Let's head over to Bet365. Secondary books include DraftKings, PointsBet, MGM. Game in question, Cincinnati at Cleveland, the Reds at the Guardians. Prop market we're looking at, pitcher strikeouts. Number is still there. Always great to see. For release number 3, Cincinnati starting pitcher Hunter Greene, under 6.5 Ks, -125. Hunter Greene, under 6.5 Ks, -125. Let us know if you're seeing it somewhere else. Again, Pinnacle market, -160. Cleveland, low K percentage, double-digit wins blowing out, coming off a 14K day that could skew the market a little bit, but he's been 5-2 to the under in his last 7 starts. What do you like about Greene? I know the projections on him are always a little lower than what the market is across the board, just because I think that's what happens with high K percentage guys.
Yeah, like his K percentage for a while was just incredibly high, like unsustainably high, and the market wasn't treating it that way. And he was getting there anyway sometimes. So he's a scary guy to bet because his stuff is really good and he can just explode for a 12 strikeout day at any point. But since coming back from the injured list, his stuff has been a little bit worse. And the matchup here is really tough. Cleveland is extremely low strikeout. So, that's what we're looking at here. The bat's projecting 5.3. So full strikeout under at around, what did we get? -125.
Yeah.
Yeah, the market's been falling. Pinnacle -162. It's a good number to get in on.
Is K percentage a noisy stat year to year? Because Cleveland was a very low strikeout team last year. And when we look out K percentage stuff like Detroit last year was one of the worst, and then they've kind of been a better team. Is it easy to predict year to year?
Yes, K percentage on for teams and for pitchers too is one of the most stable stats. It's just that from year to year, teams change who's playing. It's stable for the individual hitters, but if the roster changes, then you can't look at the team numbers. You have to look at who's going to be in the lineup this year or today, and that's pretty stable.
Yep, and absolutely when lineups get posted out, Derek's numbers and projections change automatically to what the lineup projections are. All right, so Hunter Greene under 6.5 -125. I saw someone out there saying points bet -120. Hopefully that's there. Thank you, Ethan. Let's get to release number 4. We're at bet 365, and this man owes us some money.
Yes, he does.
Yeah. Game in question: Arizona at Chicago. Going back. Prop market, we're looking at earned runs, pitcher earned runs. Big plus money still there. Oh, we lost 5 points, but
yeah, that's still fine.
Okay, let's go. Release number 4, Chicago White Sox pitcher Jose Urena, over 2.5 earned runs, +135. Jose Urena over 2.5 earned runs, +135. He dogged us last time, sadly, but this is still a guy with a 1.67 whip. This is a guy with an ERA north of 7. You had 2 plays. You wanted 2 plays on him. You picked the one. The under 3.5 strikeouts at plus money showed value as well. Why settling on the earned runs? Just because of the +135 for something that's probably showing similar value?
Yeah, it's showing pretty similar value. They both look good. I like the under strikeouts, but the earned runs show a little bit more value. The bat's projecting 3.1. So this is about a 55% win rate at +135 is definitely good. Urena's just a really, really, really bad pitcher. Arizona's getting a big park upgrade, and that's what we're looking at here.
Now, you'll notice if you've played baseball, if you've watched baseball enough, and it happened in Urena's last start, early swings. When people start swinging early at pitchers, it means they're picking them up. Sometimes those balls don't go in play. Sometimes, well, they do, but sometimes they don't go for hits. But when you see Jose Urena going, 25 pitches after 2 innings, 38 pitches after 3 innings, it's because guys can see him. They're just not putting it in play, and sometimes that happens.
Yeah, so hopefully they get to him early, but if not, this is we should expect him to get hit around here today.
Yeah, thank you very much. Let's go to a different market. Let's stay at the same book, though. We're at bet 365. Secondary book includes DraftKings. Game in question, Texas at LA. Let's go to some late West Coast games here. All right. Head over to player hits. And this is the first time we'll be hitting this player. But let's hope he starts because he's been demoted to the bench, basically.
Yeah, we want him to start and we want him in the right lineup spot.
Fantastic. Yeah, don't want him in a leadoff spot, basically, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
All right. I honestly don't know where they're putting this man these days right now. I barely watch this team anymore. Release number 5, Los Angeles infielder, bench player, David Fletcher, under 0.5 hits plus 145. Fletcher, under 0.5 hits plus 145. I don't know. He's just a 230 hitter. He's just not very good. He doesn't hit for power. I don't know. LA's had him in that lineup for a long time. And if you've watched this team, nothing stands out about Fletcher.
No, he's a super mediocre ball player
Yes.
at best. Like you said, no power, doesn't even have a great batting average. Like, he doesn't really strike out much, but his hit quality is so poor that he's at best, league average, batting average kind of guy. A little bit of a pinch hit rate, and actually quite a bit of a pinch hit rate, I think. Let me look. What is the number here for him?
Yeah, they just demoted him. The last blurb I read on him was David Fletcher demoted to bench role.
Yeah, 51% pinch hit risk. So that is actually the highest of the day, I think, or second highest of the day. Yeah, highest of the day. That is a very high number. And he's not that good. The only concern for me really is he started 16 games for them this year. He's hitting the top half of the order once. That was 5 or 6 starts ago. We're hoping we're seeing him batting 8th, 9th, which is what he's done in 15 out of those 16. He's been in the bottom third. So, hopefully the market doesn't know something we don't, and he's going to be hitting second again today, but that's rarely the case.
Yeah, and hopefully some veteran rest for a guy who's battled injuries this year and doesn't have to play the entire game. Release number 6. Last one today. If you haven't already, hit that like button. Game in question. We're at DraftKings, pretty book specific. I think MGM. Did we say MGM has these now, or that was the walk? Both.
No, they do. They have both now.
Nice. All right. But they might not have this guy. I'll assume that MGM does not have this person.
Yeah.
St. Louis at Milwaukee.
Odds there, yeah.
All right. St. Louis at Milwaukee. When Derek sends his plays in and it has a first name on it, yeah. There's a high probability that this guy doesn't. There's no way. I'll be very minus 1,000. This guy does not have a pitcher. Let's go to hitter Cave.
I don't think MGM has him. I think I saw him. I did not see a picture. Yep, still good.
Yes. Fantastic. Great bet there. Minus 1,000. We'll take it. For release number 6, St. Louis 28-year-old rookie infielder, Irving Lopez, under 0.5 Ks plus 190. Lopez, under 0.5 Ks plus 190. I think I read it. I could be wrong, but Arenado's banged up, right? Like, he's on the 10-day. I think he's kind of sliding in here. They just purchased his contract. He's 28 years old. If this is his first start, this will be his MLB debut. A lot of moving pieces, probably a pinch hit risk. I didn't find his minor league K numbers, and we're seeing it drop. Plus 175. Move them markets, boys. What do you got? Tell me about Irving Lopez here, Derek.
I mean, I couldn't have told you much about him before this morning when I saw the projection and I looked into him a little bit. Kind of a quad A type of guy. Like, he's older. He's never had a crack in the big leagues until this year. Is not very good. In his 7 plate appearances in the majors so far this year over the last few days, he struck out 5 times, which is why I imagine this number is what it is. But you look at what he does in the minors, you look at what he projects as going forward, and he is not the 71% strikeout guy that he's been so far. He's more like a 22% or so. In the minors, he was in the mid to high teens the last couple of years. So we should expect this guy to not be as strikeout heavy as he has been so far. He's facing a fairly low strikeout pitcher in Adrian Hauser today. And so plus 190 just looks like a misprice for a guy who is not this extreme of a strikeout hitter.
Yeah.
And there's probably a little bit of pinch hit risk too.
Yeah, it's certainly that market was certainly falling with, as we do when we hit faceless people who St. Louis fans don't even know exist, but might find the starting lineup. But hopefully he starts. If he doesn't start, it will be void there as
Yeah.
always. So let's do a quick rundown if people are late to the show, and hopefully can maybe pick off some of these numbers that are still available. Zach Davies over 4.5 hits at even money. That was moving quickly. Zac Eflin under 5.5 Ks minus 122. That was at FanDuel. A lot of green check marks there. Hunter Greene under 6.5 Ks. Minus 125, always tough sweating out his unders. Jose Urena owes us money over 2.5 earned runs, plus 135 strikeouts, under 3.5 at even money, projects well too. David Fletcher under 0.5 hits, plus 145, and then Irving Lopez. Yeah, that market's moving under 0.5 strikeouts. Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, 9:15 a.m. You're here. If you're in the chat still, you guys are an absolute gem, helping us out every time. Thanks to you guys. Thanks to Derek. Thanks to producer Mick. I'm Josh Shingles. He's Derek Carty. This is the Bat X Release Show on Covers. See you back here Wednesday, 9:15 a.m.